Hello, Richard.
Hey, Avery. How you doing today?
You see, they separated me and Talbot. They sent me up here to the roof, so we didn't include him anymore.
Yeah, we've been looking at Talbot's desk and having him do fidget spinner tricks the last couple of days.
I could watch that forever, seeing that thing spin around. That was pretty awesome.
All fun and games until Talbot loses an eye with the fidget spinner.
His eyebrows are so long, I was a little worried that maybe one would get stuck in that fidgety thing and we could have an injury happening. Let's move on to business. You know, so many people so ticked off about hydro prices. We know Ontario's the highest. We pay the highest. Toronto's the highest of the high.
Yeah, we had that confirmed today. I know it certainly felt that way, and indeed it is. New numbers from Stats Canada show Ontario hydro rates rose 71% over the past 7 years. That's compared to a 34% increase for the rest of Canada. So our increase here in Ontario, more than double the national average. And look at Toronto, right at the top of the list, the average hydro bill topping $201. Very pricey in Ottawa as well, 182 and change. Halifax, 166. Vancouver, 114. You get out to Winnipeg, it's 97 $7 there, and in Montreal just over 83. And I know a lot of people, Avery, are paying more than $201, but this was based on a typical household using 1,000 kilowatts per month. Very expensive, and certainly a political problem as well for Premier Wynne.
A lot of people saying that this could cost her and her government the election the next time when people go to the polls. So something like this is going to make people even more sort of outraged over their hydro prices. So Hydro One has somehow got $6 billion lying around, and they decided to make a big purchase in the States.
Yeah, we found this out last night. Hydro One says they're spending $6.7 billion to buy Avista. This is a similar type power utility company that operates in the U.S. Midwest. We're looking here at the Hyperloop, not the Hydro One, but nevertheless, we'll get to
Hydro One.
We'll get to Hyperloop in just a second. Stand by on that. But a lot of outrage about this because, you know, we're paying these high rates, yet Hydro One, Avery, spending all this money to buy a company in the U.S. Patrick Brown, the PC leader, speaking out against it. The other view, though, is that Hydro One's now a public company, and they have an obligation to their shareholders to boost earnings and maybe do that through acquisition. So, yeah, it's going to irk a lot of people, no question.
Can we show some more of that Hyperloop? What the heck is that?
Let's talk about Hyperloop.
Let's do that.
So this Avery, let's take another look at that. This is a test of the so-called Hyperloop coming up to full speed, and we're talking Hyperloop today because Elon Musk, who's come up with this idea or who's forwarding it, has got U.S. government permission to build this connecting four U.S. cities. Isn't this crazy? It's going to connect New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington. It's a train inside a tunnel, and the tunnel is a near vacuum, so there's no friction.
It's very trippy. Wait a second. I'm really getting dizzy watching this. Woo.
Yeah, if you have, you know, epilepsy, be careful. Don't look at the TV here. It can get up to more than 900 kilometers per hour, so it could go from New York to Washington or, say, from Toronto to Montreal in a little bit less than half an hour, and they're actually going to build it. So it could be a big game changer in the travel business, Avery.
Let's hope they take safety very, very seriously on a high-speed train like that. Holy smokes.
$30 they think the ticket would be, too, so it could be affordable.
What kind of an impact is that going to have on the airline industry?
Yeah, that could destroy the airline industry, for sure.
Very interesting. Okay, OJ Simpson all over the news today. You wanted to look at just how much he was worth. I am surprised by this. I sort of thought 9 years in jail, plus all the very bad dirt on him from before. Surprising, he's still worth a lot of money.
They think his net worth could be close to $3 billion, Avery. Much of it is tied to his pensions. He gets a reported $25,000 a month from the NFL.
Really? Wow.
$300,000 a year, and that cannot be touched by the Goldman family. You know, back in 1997, he lost a civil case. He was ordered to pay $33 million to the families of his former wife and to the Goldman family. So this pension, they can't touch that. He's also going to make a beeline for Florida, and it's not just because of the Gulf. Florida law shields a lot of Simpson's assets from creditors. So he used to have a net worth before his 1992 arrest of some $10 million, but of course a lot of that went to legal fees. But he certainly got some money in the bank, Avery.
Wait, I may have misunderstood. Did you say million or billion?
I'm sorry, million. He's not a billionaire.
Okay, all is right again in the world. Okay, million. I was going to say $3 billion. That's a big pension, but not that big.
No, yes. He used to make a lot of money from Hertz. He was a spokesperson for them for many years. But yeah, a net worth of $3 billion at present, $3 million at present, they think, Avery.
You want him to be worth $3 billion. You have me. Listen, tell me about Wall Street stocks. They're remaining close to all-time highs despite today's news that the U.S. investigation into Trump, Russian ties will expand to look at the president's business dealings.
Yeah, a couple of billionaires, or more than a few, on Wall Street these days, Avery. So investors, they're happy, but you know, the average U.S. citizen very pessimistic. Take a look at this Bloomberg survey. They asked Americans to predict what they think was going to happen in the future, and the number one prediction, unfortunately, terrorists will strike in the U.S. 68% said that. U.S. will suffer another financial crisis. 63% of people felt that to be the case. North Korea to launch a nuclear weapon at the U.S. Very dire prediction there. 55% felt that. Healthcare reform will happen. Only 35% said that. So people feel it's more likely to be a financial crisis or a terrorist attack than U.S. health care reform. Avery, it's 6 months to the day since Trump was inaugurated, and U.S. stock market's gone straight up. The S&P's ahead by 10% this year.
And it's something that Donald Trump had been saying was going to happen, and he's been saying over and over again that the media sort of doesn't play up the role that the economy has had, and the stocks have gone up.
He's taking credit.
Yep. Listen, do you wear Birkenstocks?
Yeah, only with socks, though. Only with white socks.
Oh, you're the guy. Do you really?
It's a good look, right?
Only if you wear that little tank top undershirt thing that you wore last summer for us. Birkenstocks, I'm sure they're comfortable. I've never even found them that comfortable, but you've got a pair that are really expensive.
These are $799 Birkenstocks. Features natural blue leather, sterling silver handcrafted buckles, and apparently Birkenstocks are back in style with online sales surging, Avery.
You say back in style. I think you're making an editorial judgment.
It was big in the 90s. It was big in the 90s, I think.
You know, I'm sure they're comfortable. I'll leave it. I don't want to anger the Birkenstock lovers. I'm sure they're really comfortable. I would at $750 anyway.
Not that
Richard,
comfortable.
always a pleasure.
Thanks, Avery.